Hey everybody, welcome to another deck guiding gameplay video. I'm Victual. Today's deck is Azir Irelia. So if you'd like to play with the deck, I've got the deck code down in the video description. And also, if you're just here for the gameplay footage, you can skip on over to the game number 1 timestamp as well. Alright, so let's get into this deck. So Azir Irelia has been around for a long time. It was kind of the scourge of Legend of Runeterra for quite a while until it got heavily nerfed. But, to be honest, after playing this deck a little bit, it's actually not dead at all. The deck is still pretty strong, even in today's ladder. So let's go through the champions, followers, and spells, and we'll kind of talk through why we include them and kind of how you play the deck. So champions are 3 of Azir, 3 of Irelia. So Azir, his level condition is you summon 13 plus allies, and then Irelia's level condition is 14 plus allies have attacked. So very synergistic, summoning with Azir and then attacking with Irelia to get the level up. And then Azir has, when an ally attacks, summon attacking Sand Soldier. And then Irelia is, when she's summoned or around start, if you have the attack token, you create a Flawless Duet in hand, which does a Blade Dance of 2. So really what you're looking to do is combo these champions along with all your followers and your spells to get as many blades and sand soldiers attacking as possible, and you kind of wear down your opponent. Now they only start with 1 attack for the blades and the sand soldiers, but it's very hard for your opponent, even if they got big blockers. Eventually it's going to wear them down, and of course if they only have chump blockers like really small health units, typically they're taking really bad trades just to prevent damage. And because you've got blade dances that you can play on your opponent's turn, it really puts a lot of pressure on them. They're almost always on the back foot trying to protect their board and trying to get something down. So it's a really tough deck to play against from an opponent's perspective. So the landmarks we run 3 of Emperor's DS. So when allies attack someone attacking Sand Soldier, so it's a really good landmark for this deck because of how many times you're attacking, and even when you blade dance, that counts as an attack, and so you get extra Sand Soldiers with these Emperor's DS. And it only costs 2 mana, so if you're attacking on odds, for instance, your 1-drop, you typically want a Sparring Student or a Treasure Seeker, then you can get Emperor's DS on 2, and then on 3 you've got a really great attack, typically for your opponent to deal with. So the followers we play, 3 of the Dune Keepers, so when it summons Sand Soldiers, so very synergistic, gets 2 units down for the price of 1. 3 of Sparring Students, so when you summon an ally, give me +1/+1 this round. So because of how many units we're playing on a turn, including units that are summoned from the Emperor's DS or from Azir, those all count to buffing up Sparring Students. So Sparring Student can get very, very big very quickly. It's very easy to get to 5, 6, 7 attack during a turn. And so this is just a great 1-drop. And of course, even though, it goes down to a 1/1, that means you can take damage onto the Sparring Student. As long as it doesn't kill her, she always comes back down to a 1/1. So you can really make favorable trades and blocks with her against big things, and then she comes back down to small things, so you don't have to worry about it as much. Other things we run Treasure Seeker, just a good attacker. Summons Awaking Sands. I mean, it's just a good 1-drop in general. We run 3 of Gringly Duo, so another unit that really does well when you're summoning a lot of units. So when you summon an ally, give me +1/+0 this round. It is elusive as well, so that's a really nice bonus to getting in some damage there. It does have the 1 health, so easy to remove, but we do have ways to protect her. And then we also run 3 of Ribbon Dancer, so 2 mana, 2/1, Blade Dance 1 when you play it from hand. So this can be, really good to buff up your units, like your Greenland Dudes or Sparring Students, as well as get attacks in on your opponent's turns, and just a really solid overall card. We also run 1 of Field Musicians, so it's got a tune, and then each round, once you summon 3 other allies, you refill your spell mana and draw 1. So this pairs really, really well with all our what we're doing with this deck, because we're always summoning so many units per round, especially on attack tokens. We typically can fulfill this requirement, so you can get some free spell mana and you get to draw 1. So in a deck like this where we got so many cheap things, drawing cards is really nice. And then we also run 3 of Blossoming Blades. This is very similar to Ribbon Dancer, except it's Blade Dance for 2, and it's a little bit better stats. So those are kind of our units here, and then our spells are very synergistic with either keeping things alive or summoning more blades and more attacks. So we got 2 of recall, 1 mana spell, fast speed, so it's a way to save your units. A lot of times your opponent will try to kill either, Irelia or Azir or even your Glingway duo, so you can kind of protect them with the recall. Especially if they're spending a lot of mana on removal, you can kind of beat that with a cheap removal spell, or excuse me, a cheap recall spell. So very flexible card for this deck. 2 of Shapestone, because we've got the Emperor's Dais, this is a good way to kind of buff up your units, but also the +1 health is really nice for a lot of times just keeping something alive around your opponent's mana, or around your opponent's removal. So this can be kind of nice to keep things alive, or even push damage. 3 of Lead and Follow, so recalls an ally and then you create a Flawless Duet in hand, which is a 2 mana summon 2 blades, or do 2 blade dances. So this is just a really good, again, keeping an ally alive, or even pulling something back. You want to replay Ribbon Dancer, and then also you gain the Flawless Duet. It's a really strong card. 2 of Notify, just denying some of those spells. Again, your opponent's really going to be fighting for their life a lot of the game, so sometimes a Notify can be the difference between them surviving and them not surviving. So just a way to deny some of those cheap spells. 2 of Twin Disciplines, really flexible, really good to protect things with the +0/+3, but also pushing damage with the +3/+0. So just a really strong card in this deck, and really any type of Ionia aggro game plan will like this card. We also run 2 of Defiant Dance, so recalls a unit, so this can be your opponent's unit or your own, and you also Blade Dance 1. So this is really good if they play a really big unit for the turn. You can Defiant Dance it, and you actually get some blades going in. They also run 1 of Will of Ionia, just a way to kind of remove one of your opponent's units. Typically you want to use it on an opponent, but you can also use it on your own units as well. So really you're just trying to get down as many of these cheap units as soon as you can. Obviously control decks can kind of give you a little trouble, but a lot of times you can still push through damage even against those. So anyways, that's the deck. Let's go ahead and get into some games. Alright, up against Senna Caitlyn. Okay. So probably a lot of removal. Okay. I kind of like this to start with. Let me see if I can get our 1-drop here. Okay. Not bad. Very easily he could have something to kill this, but it's okay. Nice, alright. Probably go Emperor's Dais next turn. Okay. So he's a pretty big spell here. Could go Glingway duo, but I think getting this down now is fine. He gets a free attack in, we'll skip that. Question is, do we go with Irelia now? I think the answer is no, now that we've drawn this. Maybe I get a second. Let's start with this first, because this gets him up to 3/3. Then I think we go with the second DS, that way we're just get a ton of Sand Soldiers going. Okay. So get this down here. He is going to get his little stuff in, but we'll hold this back. This goes up to 5/5, which is nice. Okay. Getting some damage in.
Scoping the area.
We'll skip that block. I'm fine with passing here, if he wants to pass too. Okay. So I think I'm going to start with this here. Let's see what he wants to do here. Gets a lot of damage coming in here.
2 times over.
So he does get his flash bombs in there, but
Now be waiting.
okay. So we'll go ahead and do this here. I want to attack with this, right? Is there any reason to? just trades. Okay.
Turning yourself in.
Okay.
Laying the ground.
All right. All right. We dodged one flash bomb. One dodge there. Okay. So either this or this. He gets the kill. Alright, so it does get the kill there. Not amazing, but this is also kind of nice because we can start getting some draws going. Can ribbon dance, and then we get this to activate. Although drawing is not that great with we got flash bombs in here, is it? But I think we want to just keep going. Keep the attacks going here. Okay.
Just kill me.
Okay. So we can do that. So we can either get a kill on that, or we can keep this alive. I think I'm fine with keeping this alive, right? Because he spent all his mana trying to kill it. We have Irelia coming down soon. Very soon. Alright, so that thing's dead. So we'll go ahead and start with this, and then we'll get Irelia down.
That's my resting face.
We'll see what he wants to do next here. Withering Drain 2. I'm kind of cool with just recalling this, right? Or do I give it the plus? He still gets the drain, so let's do this here. Yeah, I think that's fine. See if he spends even more on it. Because it only drains from this one right here. Okay. Maybe do we wait? No, let's just get early going. Unfortunately, we do waste one of our duets, I think, but
I must become the leader they need.
all right. We'll start with one of these. He's got something to do 3 damage here, so we can also swap in with something. So we'll go ahead and swap here. We don't want to swap with these because these get obliterated when they leave combat. So okay. All right. Go to 3 so we can swap with here. And that's lethal. Nice. We got him. Alright, let's get some of our more combo pieces here. Okay. There's Sparring Student at least. Okay, we'll go ahead and get that down. Unfortunately, no 2-drop in hand at the moment. Alright, that's a little better.
All in the shoulders.
Okay, Bright Steel Protector. I'm fine with trading this if he wants to. Alright, nice. No trade. Okay. There's Emperor's DS. That's exactly what we're looking for. Okay. I think I'll just pass it back. It's so bad. We'll have to get the DS down.
You're covered.
Okay. Sure thing. Do I recall? I don't think I do. Okay.
Honor guide me.
Okay. Alright. So we can get Irelia down. Plus the Blade Dance.
No weakness.
Or Flawless Duet. We'll see. They could have a single combat or something.
Strength and grace. Beauty.
Alright, we'll go ahead and do this.
Shield up.
Okay. So we want to attack because he's got the good block there. Alright. Shapestone is nice. Keeps her alive.
My steel is yours.
Okay. We'll do that. Going down to 8. I think this is fine.
The enemy has reached the soaring hills.
Let them come. Our blades will greet them.
Okay, so he gets the remembrance down. Alright. Okay. Start with this. Looking pretty tough for us to win at this point. Tasty Faithful, sure. Yeah, that's a pretty tough thing to do here. He's gonna get his heals up, but I think we have to accept it. That's gonna happen. Okay, so he denies that. Sure. Well, let's go ahead and do this then. Actually, let's do this. Right? He does get this value, but then this thing can attack for free.
So, a war
No closer.
Okay. Interesting that he did nothing there. Okay. Well, this can attack for free. Suppose we could also do this in here.
Battle stances.
Is that all good? Do a 4/4.
You're strange.
Okay.
Stop you.
We do get that killed at least,
Shield up.
which is nice. It's a tough matchup for sure. Almost have Azir. Alright, that's pretty good there. Okay.
My heart races. What if I falter? If you fall, I will always.
I can always recall her if I need to. Got 2 ways to recall her. We'll start with this one. Okay. I think I'll just go ahead and do this. Just get a little more damage in.
Spin it round, throw it down.
Make sure that he's level 1 coming in. Okay. Alright, it's got Valor. Okay. Very weird deck for the opponent here. I'm not sure what exactly they're trying to do, but... Alright. Get Irelia down.
Remember our ancestors and fight for those who came before us.
Can also get Azir down.
And you were mine.
Okay. Concerted strike. Could do this just to like completely whiff on that, but it's not that big a deal, right? We've got 7 mana, so we do this here. Can't do both of them, but that's fine. I'll just do this. Get her down again. We do miss out on one of these, unfortunately, or 2 of these actually. Start with this here.
Play a song of
Can always pop her in for something. Oh, actually, we do get this because of our field musicians. Okay, just keep going with it. All right. All the swaps you could need here. Alright, we got interesting deck from opponent, but we pulled through. Alright, Fiznar. Okay. I think I want to go for something else, more early game. Okay. Alright, get the Dunekeeper going.
See what we see, soldier.
Get some damage in. Okay, sure. Alright, Emperor's DS is really nice. Yeah, let's go ahead and get that down. That's going to prove to be really important. Okay. Alright, I think I'm good to get Azir down.
Men die, but Shurima lives forever.
Yeah, he gets one good block, but I'm getting several sand soldiers. Okay.
In Shurima's name.
Alright. He's got a lot of cheap chump blockers, but I think we can try to push through damage. We'll see. Okay. Could have a Euros and Arms play coming up. I'll go ahead and get the Greenglade Duo down.
Everything's better with company.
Says you.
Then let's go ahead and do this here.
Showtime.
Okay. Alright. So he's got the squad here, so he's got a pretty scary attack coming up. So we gotta just trade here. This thing's never getting in with all these one drops. So his Euros Arms next turn is pretty scary. Or in his next attack, that is. So we gotta hopefully get through there before. Start with this here, I think.
All on the shoulders.
This should level up Azir. Okay.
Tell the people what you have seen today.
Alright.
It is time. The order is given.
Alright, so he goes with the Euros and Arms. Sure. So we're just gonna pass then. Because obviously we can't attack into that or do any damage here. So he's got another one. Oh wow, he gets his own. So if he gets his own, if he's got another one in hand, we're kind of screwed, I think. But I guess he's got it, doesn't he? And there's Fizz. So let's go ahead and, yeah, we got to get in with some attacks here.
Steady your heart.
Your emperor commands.
He's got to block at least a little bit, which is good. Okay, so he's going to have 20 damage. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be enough for us. He's got all elusive damage here. Yeah, I think we're dead, unfortunately. And that second Yours in Arms was good for him. Alright, yeah, that's too bad. Shape Stone or anything would have been nice, but yeah, we're just dead here. Alright. Good try. Alright, up against Darkness. See if I can find a or Emperor's DS. I think that's really important. Okay. That's not any of those. Okay. And unfortunately, we can't really do anything here. Okay, he's got the Darkness. I think let's go ahead and get Azir down.
See what is. See what will be.
Yeah, well, that's fine with me. Just let him attack in. Let's go start with the Dune Keeper here.
Something more. Together.
He's got his Robe Maker.
Of Shurima.
Go ahead and get... He does have Darkness he can play.
No mercy for those who desecrate our home.
See if he plays that right now, we can at least shape stone around it, which is nice. Or we could just Nopeify it, but I think I want to do this because that just does two. Yeah, okay. And then we can still play our Flawless Duet.
Hopeless, honestly.
Okay. We'll go ahead and do this, because he can't really block any of these. So this thing can block that, so we'll just stand back. Okay. Alright, get some damage in. Maybe it's worth it just to attack with these, just to get the attack up on Irelia, but I don't know. Okay, so that's Darkness there. Costs 2, so we can Nopeify that if he tries it. So I think I'm good with doing that.
The Yordle here's with me.
Okay, or we'll just Nopeify this.
Spotlight on me.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. 3 damage. Let's start with this.
My heart races.
If he's got Whale, that's really bad for us. Or Box, but Azir's at least leveled up.
What you have seen today.
Looks like the way he's playing it doesn't look like it's Whale. Okay. I guess we'll go ahead and do this. If he's got Whale, he's got Whale, right?
United in war.
Your emperor commands.
It must be Whale or something, right? Or Box. Okay. Alright, we still can attack with all this stuff though. And this thing will level up. So I'm fine with that.
The order is given. It is time.
We dance to the drums of war, and all our hearts beat as one. What are you wearing?
What did you call me?
Alright, so we'll go ahead and swap here. Get the kill on Vhagar.
I'll always catch you.
Alright. We can also Blossoming Blade. Got a lot of plays here. Recall on this if he goes for that. Okay. Fine with doing this here.
Shurima's legacy will endure.
We Ionians always remember those who came before us. Through conflict, we
I
grow.
think we can stop the damage by
Spears ready.
doing this so he doesn't get his lifesteal. Okay. He's gonna get some lifesteal no matter what, so
I wish I could give you silk, but I must give you steel.
Stay by my side. I cannot ask for more.
okay. It's fine.
Stand down.
You can't ruination, that's the one good thing with this. Okay. That's totally fine with me.
Flight true is one heart to another.
Arise.
My spirit.
Your emperor commands.
Okay. That's fine with me. Alright.
Full speed ahead. Steady as life and death. My spirit is stone.
A true leader does not hesitate.
See what he says to do
What
here.
are you made of?
Okay, so he's got Whale, which sucks, but he still dies because he's he needed to block here. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Opponent kind of threw there because he's not getting any lifesteal now. Alright. Well, we got the win. So yeah, that's Azir and Irelia, still relevant here even in 2022. Scourge of many season of Legends of Runeterra. Still pretty strong, even against control decks. I have a lot of hard time dealing with all the different ways you can attack, and then late game when when both Azir and Irelia are leveled up, very hard for your opponent to deal with them. Especially if they don't have good removal. So yeah, that's the deck. Go ahead and give it a shot. Let me know how it goes for you. That's gonna be it for this video. We'll see you next time.